Oh, no, he didn't.
Girl, we come on here every week talking about what he done did, and every week he done did something else.
Y'all can tell my friend is a little hyped up. She's hyped up about today's topic. Welcome to the podcast. Appreciate you being here. If you're new, welcome to the party. Make sure you subscribe and like, and we'd love to hear your comments. One of the best ways to send comments so we can see each other's comments is on YouTube. So if you're listening to this on the podcast, you can also watch the same video on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe there. All right. What's got you all hot under the collar, my little friend?
I'm doing my daily, nightly scroll on the interwebs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on Facebook and I come across a post. And we'll put it right here, like it, and I'll read it to you. You want me to read it?
Yes, please.
Okay, this is from a Solomon Bucci who has a certified account, has a check mark by his name. And apparently he just got engaged to his girlfriend. And the caption reads as follows. You are not the most beautiful woman. Neither are you the most intelligent woman. But like I've chosen to never find perfection in anyone else, I put my gaze on you. And with that commitment, we would mold ourselves for ourselves. Our perfection is in our commitment. And then he reiterated, stating that you are not the most beautiful, intelligent, might sound like it's not a compliment. Yeah, but it's a realistic base for love. Acknowledging that my woman isn't the best, but I'm not looking for the best. These are all fragmented sentences. That's why it sounds so funny. I was looking for you and I found you. There's no best. There's just someone you choose and you see the best in them. To me, this is real love. And it goes on, you know, blah, 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 blah.
I love how you being an editor, you couldn't even just read that without acknowledging this fragment sentences. But anyway, y'all got the point. She can't help it. She couldn't help it. She was editing the whole thing.
Right. Wait a minute. That ain't no sentence.
But okay. So why does that have you so hot under the collar?
Because why? Why can't we just say we engaged, we getting married?
Because if two people got engaged, what is your assumption if they just said, hey, we got engaged?
I am always going to assume, and it ain't got nothing to do with engagement or anything. I'm going to always assume that anybody I ever see on the internet is not the most beautiful or most intelligent person. I don't think none of us are.
Well, I mean.
So why is this the first thing that comes out of your post when you're talking about the woman you love?
That she's not the most beautiful or the most intelligent.
Yeah. And I would have taken the most beautiful. I would have just probably scrolled by that and like, you know what? Well, that's all right. But why he had to throw intelligence in there too? Like, why are we mentioning all of her flaws? Maybe she is literally a dumb, ugly broad and he's trying to get in front of her. She's not ugly.
She's not ugly. He posted pictures of her. But I'm saying it might be one of those things. It's, to me, him writing that makes it seem like, and he has the comments limited on the post, and that might have been in hindsight. But you know what? Right. I think men, and we've discussed this, I think, before. If not, it's a known fact. Men select their partners based on other people's approval. Men select their partners based on what their boys are going to think about her, how attractive she would be to his boys. And that's why a lot of times when it's somebody who might not be classically attractive, that man will still be sneaking over there every night.
Yeah.
Okay. He just don't want his boys to see that that's who he's attracted to and want to be with. Yeah. So this might have been a case. Exactly. This might have been a case where he was like, okay, I've been with this. They only been dating for a year. And I don't mean to say only, but they've been dating for 1 year. Mm-hmm. And maybe a lot of his people in his life, we still in the pandemic, didn't know he had been dating somebody. Maybe this was the introduction to her on social media that this is my person. And in his mind, because he's attached to the approval and validation of outside voices, he felt like, look, I know she ain't the most beautiful or intelligent, but I have decided to love her.
That actually makes it worse for me. Other than him stating like
any other reason.
Huh?
I can't imagine any other reason he was saying.
Well, no, I mean, it's just like, you know, when we were talking offline, like when you buy a house, you buy a car, there are always things that you could want more of. Like, oh, I should have got that door for my house, or I should have ordered that window for my house or whatever. So yeah, obviously when you're dating, as in shopping for a house, everything on your list may not be crossed out.
Right.
But why we got to say that out loud? That's what I'd rather him say, that be his intention based off of, I didn't get everything I wanted, but we never get everything we want out of life. But
again, it's also understood as adults that we all know that. You know
what I'm saying? So I'd rather it be that reason as opposed to, hey y'all, I know I be dating them 10s, but she an 8. She cool though. She cool.
I have chosen to love her anyway.
That's horrible.
I mean, yeah. Well, first of all, obviously beauty is so subjective. So
it really is.
One person's 10 is another person's 3 is another person's 5, so who cares about that? I know I've been attracted to people that after I wasn't attracted to them no more, I'm looking back like, why y'all ain't tell me? Correct. And a lot of times as friends, we're not attracted to the same type guys. So we know as thinking and as beautiful, intelligent women that everybody's attracted to something different. There's no one answer for anyone. Now, with that being said, it's very similar to when people do those anniversary posts and they say, oh, we've had a lot of good and bad and ups and downs. I think that's understood. If you are in a relationship, you're going to have good days and bad days. You're going to have ups and downs. So we tend to get a little annoyed at someone stating what should be the obvious. Now, we know everything is not obvious, and also everything ain't for everybody. Right. So in you saying, okay, she's not the most, and it's not even that he says she's not the most, because I just really look at it again. It says you are not the most beautiful or the most intelligent. Now, that sounds crazy to me, that someone would address me that has asked for my hand in marriage to do this forever and ever and a day type thing. And they looking at me saying, now you're not the most beautiful or intelligent, but I still pick you. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think I'd be like, well, no, you know what? Now that you mentioned it, I could do better too.
Yeah. And some people in the comments before he canceled, a lot of them were saying stuff about, they used the term gaslighting. I know that's an overused term. But I could see their point in what they were saying. A lot of people said, you humiliated her on what is supposed to be, one of the most important times of her life, and you made her a mockery on the internet for people to, you know what I mean? And it's just like, come on.
To make you you're such a great guy that you just can find something to love about this person.
No.
I'm scrolling through the comments and people are like, sir, do you know we can see you?
We didn't talk about that part.
We didn't even talk about what he looks like. But it really is this idea that we all know. Let's say who is somebody that most people find attractive? Like let's think of a man that across the board, most people say, yeah, he's attractive. Not everybody, but most people. Who's the guy? Let's say a Denzel. Let's say, but you're not a big Denzel person.
No, I was gonna say Idris, but you're not a big Idris person. So just be
Idris Elba, Denzel, Morris Pajo, Jason Momoa. Those guys have made a career, and the general consensus is they are attractive. Now, obviously, all of us don't like them for the same reason. Right. However, what we know is they ain't perfect. We know they shit stinks. We know they've had failed relationships, haven't been great. But they can be attractive, right? So to say somebody is not the most beautiful, one, is crazy. Mm-hmm. And two, it's not something, one, you would ever need to say in public or that you would ever need to say to me. So I agree. It's one of these things where you have taken this moment, but you also have people who don't feel like he humiliated her in this moment. They feel like, oh, wow, this is how love should be. And you just see the best in the person, even though they might not be the best person. Listen, it's a lot of hurt folks out there, so you don't want them validating your stupidity. I'm just saying, there is somebody that will validate anybody on any day of the week. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. Okay. Yes. But I feel like in this moment that we got engaged, and I guess this is your official proclamation and pronouncement to the world that I will be your bride. You don't need to then address a Facebook post to me. We didn't already talk about our relationship, so you ain't got to do that for me. You're doing this for them. And I think
it wasn't for her.
It wasn't for her. It was
not for her. But it affected her. I feel like it would affect me. I don't know. They
So tell me about that. Tell me about the man you're dating, y'all cool, and then you see you've been tagged and he made a post about you. And you read it and it starts with, you are not the most beautiful, most intelligent. Do you finish reading it? Do you get to the bottom of the post to find the sentiment?
No.
You're done already.
Yeah, because I was done with that one. I just kind of read a little bit more for you guys today, but when I saw that, a couple of people shared it on my timeline. I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah, people are like, yeah, I wonder if she breaks the engagement. Now, again, no shade to her, but I'm assuming he's this kind of person, right? And so he may have convinced her that she's not the most beautiful or intelligent. Now, let me say this about being the most beautiful or intelligent. It's not really for anybody to say. That's for something you say for yourself. Do I think I am the most beautiful or most intelligent woman in the world? Literally, no. Is someone else going to offer me that as information? Absolutely not. Okay, so there's things that you can know about yourself that you don't need nobody else offering you. I'm not going to agree with you when you offer that to me.
Right.
I actually just
like you wouldn't agree with somebody who told you were the ugliest woman in the world. Like how that?
I remember one time when I was still on TV doing the news, this woman wrote a comment to me and it said, "You are the worst news anchor in the world." And I just thought I thought she shot too high for the insult, because you literally have not seen every news anchor in the world. You see what I'm saying? So I might be the worst news anchor you've ever seen.
That's easy to say.
That's easy to say. I literally cannot be the worst news anchor in the world. You have no information to back that statement up, ma'am. So I cannot receive your insult in the way that you meant it. So I feel like that's what it is when you say you're not the most beautiful. You ain't seen the most beautiful. You don't even, I literally might be the actual most beautiful, but because of your limited concept. But I just saw this video. There's a young lady on TikTok. Her handle is Lip Gloss. And she's going through this process of learning to love herself. And it is really neat and interesting because she's learning to love her natural hair with no manipulation. You know, she's like, yeah, we do our natural hair, but we twist it and curl it. She said, I'm just letting it come out my head. And she's struggling with it, learning how to love the way she looks. I think she may have stopped shaving under her armpits. But the point is, people, mostly men, are dogging her out and calling her ugly and saying she's unattractive and know she needs to do something about that. And she said something in one of her latest videos that really struck me. She said, you know, it doesn't matter if you think I'm pretty or beautiful, or if I think I'm pretty or beautiful, because I have been taught that my opinion of me doesn't matter. And I thought, isn't that something? You have been taught that what you feel about yourself literally don't matter. Right. So when you walk into the room feeling confident and wonderful about yourself, and it just take one person like, oh girl, what you put that on? Well, it's like literally my opinion of me should be the most important. It really is the only one that matters. And I have moments where I'm usually pretty good about, hey, I don't need no compliments, so y'all keep that. But there are moments when, you know, you put something out there and people make a comment. Someone said, oh, you look so much better with braids than with that Afro style. Yeah. Okay, well, I don't even, is that supposed to be a compliment? Right. You know what I'm saying? And again, who are you? Right. Exactly. So I just don't think I could marry a man. He's like this in all things. No, and
in his defense, there were a lot of people in the comments to his
that agree with him.
Not men. I'm talking about women.
Yeah, I saw that.
Said, I love how you express your love for whatever her name is, Erika, whatever. It's so beautiful, and that hurts my heart to see comments like that.
Right. That is women. I don't. Yes.
Yeah, I surround myself by friends who are going to challenge me and everything, and you know, call me out on my wrongs, but they speak life into me. And this is not speaking life into somebody. I'm sorry, I don't receive it that way, and so no. Like that, it's a sign of a bigger problem for me. Like I don't know their relationship.
Well, for society to think that, you know, but it goes back to the conversation that so many men have about what deems a woman's worth or what deems constitute a woman's value. You know, whether it's her weight or her age or how many kids she has or all that. And it's like, that's literally, you don't get to decide my value as a human. I am on the planet. I am 100%. I have full value, full worth. I am on the planet. I have full 100% worth. You don't get to say, oh, well, because you live over there, you know, it's the same thing that we talk about oppression and white supremacy. Because your skin color, you are valued less. Because of where your house is valued less. Because of where you graduated from, your education is valued less. Yeah. It's like, y'all, that's all hogwash and hooligan. And so still, because we have this system set up, we have convinced ourselves, well, girl, let me just be happy because I know his ex-girlfriend was beautiful. Or girl, well, I know he can be with somebody better than me. I will use the wonderful example that I was telling you. I posted some videos of an interview I did with Marlon Wayans. And the comments were mostly like, oh, you guys, you could tell you guys are friends. You guys have great chemistry. But there was one comment where a guy says, well, Marlon isn't a 10, but it's nice to see that he's with a below average looking woman. Now, if I don't know nothing else, I know I ain't below average. So I took offense because if we're talking about averages, I'm literally not below it.
What he look like? He's trying to talk.
But you see what I'm saying? But I'm like, but if we actually gonna do it in math numbers, okay, beauty is subjective. Beautiful, ugly, that's subjective. But if we're talking about literal math and averages, I wouldn't fall below the average. Right. So I'm taking offense that your math is off on how attractive you have deemed me. This ain't even right math.
Okay. And then what give y'all a right to say Marlon ain't a 10, or like the fact that he's a man, it gives him, but he could date a below average.
Well, because he's a celebrity or he got money. Now let me say again, me and Marlon are not dating, have never dated. But the vibe was we joke about dating, so people were responding to the concept of us dating each other. And I just was like, now look, on the math, somebody said, oh, this gives me hope that a regular person can get a celebrity. And I'm like, what is the
I ain't regular.
Be clear. I'm like, who are y'all looking at?
Regular.
Where you get regular from? But it's people's perception of themselves, right? Yeah. That they would look at me. Look, they would look at me and say, "Oh, she's regular," and I'm like, "I'm literally not even regular." But what's wrong with regular? And who gets to decide what regular is?
Right.
What makes somebody special? What makes somebody extra special, extra spicy, extra crispy? So the whole thing is the programming of what we believe about ourselves that then we project on the other people.
That's very true. That's social media in a nutshell.
Yeah.
It's a large magnifying glass on each of us and what we think of ourselves and how we project that onto other people. Like,
oh, girl, you got that sleeveless dress on. I wouldn't wear my arms.
Yeah, it's like
that's how you feel about your arms.
Right.
Oh, girl, you got on a bikini. That's how you feel about your body. Mm-hmm. That's not how I feel about my body. But because you feel bad about your body, you want to make sure you offer me some information about how you feel about yours and how I should feel about mine. Oh, it's one of those real bad insults that people offer plus size women is, oh, your confidence. Why should I not be confident to wake up and be a human? Like, why you keep congratulating me on my confidence?
Because we've been programmed to be just the opposite of that.
So brave to be, it must be so brave to be you.
Dang, what make me brave?
Chica has a poem about that. Like, why y'all congratulating me on existing?
Right.
It's because I don't look like what you've been told I should look like. And the fact that I've decided to still thrive and grow and be a contributing member of society. Wow, bravo, because you are not skinny enough or pretty enough or rich enough, or you're none of the things you should be to be happy. So look at good for you. Mm-hmm. And y'all, it's ridiculous. So if a man found me and he felt like he needed to write me a public Facebook post talking about how I'm not the most beautiful, intelligent, please know that man has lost me. He lost and found, baby. We're done. And I'm gonna say, first of all, why would you post that? Like, I'm sitting right here next to you.
But obviously he said that to her, or well, I don't know.
No, he
could have thrown that off with that, but she's seen signs of him feeling a certain kind of way about it. So
how many times? But wait, let me say this. Ooh, this about to take a turn, little sis. This about to take a turn. How about how many times? I know I've done it. I know you've done it recently. You've had to try to convince a man he was good enough for you.
Right. No, that's true.
That's just the flip side of that, because
it's the exact.
What if she posted, I know I'm not the most beautiful or intelligent woman, but I'm so happy you chose me. We'd be hearing it different.
Right. If she said it. Yeah.
Because how many times you in a situation?
But I feel like that's him projecting his insecurities onto her, though. You know what I mean?
100%. But I'm talking about in so-called relationships that I've been in, one of us felt like we wasn't good enough to be there. I have felt that before in dating situations. I was so enamored with this guy, like, oh my God, I can't believe he picked me. Based on whatever, right? Based on what I felt about him. And most of the time it's, the car salesman who just couldn't get his mind around what I only sell cars and you write books, So it's still an internal projection, right? Mm-hmm. Where people are in these relationships or partnerships where they don't feel worthy of the connection or they don't feel worthy of the partnership. This man let her know, you're not. And we normally be over here saying, yes, I do like you for real. Yes, you are good enough. Yes, that doesn't matter.
And he's like, no, it matters, but we
picked each other. We're gonna ride this thing out.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do this.
So do we feel like all that comments was to say, hey, I settled? Or was it to say, hey, y'all need to know you ain't gonna never get perfect, so find the perfect in who you, I mean, because it could be a beautiful message somewhere in there.
I think that message, I would think, but I overestimate the thought process of social media and people on it, but I would think that message would be obvious if it was the latter. So I feel like it screams, I settled, to me.
It screams, I need y'all to know that I settled.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because you don't have to do that. You can just present your bride to be proud and excited. By the time other people offering, oh, wait, hold on. That's why I said it felt like he was trying to get in front of people's opinions based on either the past, based on, and again, he would be a 4 at best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's talking about below average. Let's be.
I was gonna say at best. I'm being nice.
I'm trying to see who he is. He's a life
I can't
coach.
believe you haven't mentioned his beard don't connect yet. But anyway.
He's a life coach. Oh.
And Forex trader.
I just zoomed in, huh?
So the point is,
speaker, writer, journalist. Oh, he just spreading his gospel all around the good world.
Yeah. Well, what do y'all think? Please leave a comment. Would you take that as, wow, this man is professing his love for me?
Let us know.
And because some people did receive it well and said, God, what you did for them, do for me. And I'm like, God, don't you do that. Don't you do me like that, God. Or would you find offense if your brand new fiance made a post to you that you are not the most beautiful or intelligent and tagged you? And I know y'all heard me say,
let's go back to that. She ain't the most beautiful.
Because it might not sound like a compliment. I understand that, but it is true. Everything you're saying got to be a compliment, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with, we're going to break up, or we never would have been together in the first place. We actually know that would be the first answer. Mm-hmm. And again, you can't tell somebody how to feel. So I can't tell her she should feel humiliated. And I can't tell her that she doesn't feel humiliated. I just would hope that everybody could release the programming, men and women in this country, that everything has been programmed to tell you, you are not good enough. You are not worthy. This is not available to you. It's the only reason they have TV commercials on the air. Psychologists say you shouldn't even watch TV commercials because they're set up to tell you your clothes aren't white enough. Your car isn't fast enough. Your kids are not clean. You're doing nothing right. So you need to go buy these products to be better. And I would say for the most part, we'll almost be doing a bang up job because we're still here. So
exactly.
Congratulations to me for being the most beautiful and most intelligent of the day.
Y'all, I ain't gonna do it.
She going through this man's page.
He got nothing to do with looks. I'm not even that, like, I'm not talking about that because, like you said, people can't help how they look. I'm just talking about stuff. Like, really.
Yo, what do y'all think? Leave your comments. We appreciate y'all checking in for this episode. Until next time, and we know he will. Oh no, he didn't.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.